Welcome to the RTO Superhero Podcast with me, Angela Connell-Richards. Each week, we break down the standards for RTOs 2025 and turn them into clear actions you can use. You get real examples, compliance tips, and straight answers for running a quality RTO. Let's get started. Welcome back to the RTO Superhero Podcast. This is the final episode of Season 5, and today we turn our attention to the people who carry the final responsibility for RTO performance, the decision makers, the founders, the directors, the CEOs, the people who sign off on the annual declaration, the people who front the auditors in governance interviews, the people who set the tone, the culture, and the expectations for quality. In this episode, we talk about outcome accountability and what the 2025 outcome standards truly require from leadership. The standards have shifted the responsibility for compliance. It no longer sits quietly in the corner of one team. It sits at the top, at the governance level. And if you hold the senior role in your RTO, you need to understand what this means, how to meet it, and how to demonstrate it without overwhelming yourself. The revised outcome standards make one thing clear. Leadership cannot say compliance is someone else's job. That mindset belonged to an earlier era, not now. Under the revised standards, CEOs and governing bodies are responsible for overseeing quality, risk, and improvement. They must be engaged in review processes. They must make decisions based on evidence. They must be able to demonstrate governance of outcomes. They do not need to write the policy, validate the assessment, or run the internal audit. But they need to know that systems exist, that they are reviewed, that they are effective, and that they produce quality. This is visibility, not micromanagement oversight, not burden. When we conduct compliance health checks, we see the same gaps over and over again. The first is siloed compliance. The compliance officer or RTO manager is expected to handle everything while leadership remains distant until audit time. CEOs often discover issues only when it is too late. This is a governance gap. The second issue is disconnected governance. Boards, owners, and senior leaders do not receive regular updates about risk, student outcomes, non-compliances, complaints, or progress. Without oversight, governance becomes static. The third issue is narrow improvement focus. Continuous improvement tends to live at the operational level rather than the strategic level. The fourth issue is document blindness. Many CEOs cannot locate the risk register, TAS reviews, validation summaries, or feedback logs. They trust the team but cannot demonstrate leadership involvement, and that is non-compliant under Quality Area 4. So what does CEO level accountability look like when it is done well? The strongest RTOs we work with have clear leadership structures, clear reporting, and clear oversight. The first element is a leadership-level compliance dashboard. This gives CEOs monthly or quarterly updates on the continuous improvement register, key risks, validation outcomes, completion rates, progression data, trainer currency gaps, complaint trends, and evidence gaps. It provides a real-time picture of quality. Leaders do not need long reports. They need clarity. They need the truth. They need the status. The second element is governance meeting minutes linked to Quality Area 4. Every leadership meeting includes a risk review, outcome performance, policy approvals, progress on improvement actions, and any required escalation. When these items appear consistently in board minutes, The organisation shows a stable governance culture. It demonstrates accountability. It shows auditors that decisions are backed by evidence. The third element is direct oversight of key evidence. A CEO should know where the compliance calendar lives, where the evidence map lives, where the continuous improvement cycle lives, and where the internal audit report is stored. They do not need to produce the documents, but they must know how to see the system. When auditors speak with CEOs, they want to hear confidence, not confusion. Clarity, not distance. Awareness, not delegation. Let's look at a real example. One of our Vivacity compliance system clients had a CEO with deep industry experience, but no background in educational compliance. He trusted his team. He believed they had it handled. When we conducted their compliance health check, we found that leadership had not been involved in risk or review for months. TAS files had never been reviewed at the executive level. Policies were updated by staff, but not approved or understood at the board level. Continuous improvement actions had no oversight. It was not a problem of capability, it was a problem of visibility. We helped him build the leadership structures he needed. We created a quarterly compliance dashboard that summarised key risks, performance, and evidence gaps. We added compliance to board agendas using our templates. We introduced monthly updates on the evidence map. We invited him to join the Superhero Tools Unleashed webinar so he could understand documentation alignment. We gave him a direct line of sight into continuous improvement actions. Within months, he could speak confidently in audit interviews. His board understood regulatory expectations. His leadership team owned compliance as a strategic function. And their next audit outcome was fully compliant across all 4 quality areas. If you want to assess your own visibility and readiness, download the CEO Outcome Accountability Scorecard at vivacity.com.au/outcome scorecard. This tool gives you a quick and powerful snapshot of your engagement in quality systems, your reporting gaps, your risk awareness, your audit preparedness, and your governance practices. If you are a Vivacity member, you will find it in your leadership onboarding resources as well. If you feel disconnected, now is the moment to shift gears. If you are not sure what is in your risk register, it is time to reconnect. If you have not seen a validation summary for months, it is time to request one. If your compliance officer handles everything and you rely solely on trust, it is time to strengthen your oversight. Download the scorecard, review your engagement. Book a compliance health check if you want a full review. Or join the Vivacity compliance system to gain access to map documentation, executive dashboards, and governance level training. Outcome accountability is not about doing every task. It is about owning the outcome. It is about seeing the system. It is about supporting your team. The revised standards require leaders to be informed, engaged, and responsible, not overloaded, not drowning in detail, just engaged enough to lead with confidence. Thank you for joining me on the RTO Superhero Podcast. Thanks for joining me on the RTO Superhero Podcast. Use today's insights to strengthen your systems and lift the quality of your delivery. Subscribe, share the episode, and keep building a strong and accountable RTO. See you next time.
We fight compliance with knowledge and grace. Every regulation we fully embrace.